looking here. Are we on? We're okay. I'm live. Alrighty. Let's let this go for a little bit and see if anybody joins in here. Got some good stuff to do here today. Things to talk about. We shall do. How's it going, everybody? Stream here today is something that I'm going to start doing just about every day. I think I mentioned this on the last one. I'm going to put a question on the Prepping Ohio Facebook group of well, today it was what should we discuss in the future. I'm kind of thinking if we have a topic that is pretty predominant with popularity, then maybe that topic can be divided up a little bit and we can put it on I'll put it on the group and we can talk about it a little bit there. If we get some good key points, we'll discuss that in our stream. We have a couple today that we're going to get to here. Let me see what's going on here. Okay. All right. I saw there was two on the group, two topics. One I remember was edible plants, and then there was another one. Okay, here we are. Edible plants. Okay, that person has to go soon, so we're going to talk about that one first. Other one, psychological preparedness. That's another big thing. Yeah, that's something that I don't know enough about really to instruct someone. I did go get a lot of my books here that I've kind of been keeping. I'll start off with these two, Craft and Bushcraft 101. Man, I'm seeing it in my viewfinder that, I think you guys can see that too. You probably don't see that nonsense. I'm trying something different with my camera here, so just bear with me. Bushcraft 101 and Advanced Bushcraft. It's by Dave Canterbury. He's pretty cool, but seems like he's more interested in self-promoting than sharing his stuff. I'm sure when he started out, he was really all about sharing his things and probably started clocking some dollars and then decided that, hey, money's good for him and whatever. He is very, very intelligent with bushcraft, obviously, and he's got other books as well. But in these books, there are some things regarding edible plants. My experience with edible plants, and I'm assuming you mean wild edible plants, obviously not like growing corn or cabbage or something. I would assume that's what you were asking, or as your topic. I know morel mushrooms. I've hunted them since I was probably, I don't know, 12, 13, something like that, in that age range. And that's when I started looking for them, but I didn't like them at the time. I didn't like any mushrooms. And as I became older, probably 16, 17, 18, around that age, I tried them again. And then they were kind of okay. And now I love them. And now I can't find them. I can't, I'm not able to dedicate a lot of time to looking for them when they're in season, of course. So morel mushrooms, I'm confident to pick them. I know what they look like and I'm not going to die, which is a common trait with certain mushrooms. If you get the wrong one, you don't get a second chance. It's not that you get sick and you're down for a few days, which are some of those. But there are the ones that you don't get a second chance. So I err on the side of caution when it comes to mushrooms. If I don't know what it is, I don't touch it. I sure don't eat it. I wish I had more knowledge about those mushrooms. Other wild plants, dandelions, you can eat those. They're okay. They're bitter. The blooms are all right. The yellow, looks like a little sun or whatever, the little yellow sun. Those are okay. They're not bad. I guess people take the roots and make tea, which would be okay. So you can add sugar and honey and whatever to make it not as bitter. Plantain is another one. It looks like a weed. It looks a lot like a dandelion, but no, it don't. No, it looks more like a oval or a weird shaped thingamajigger with the big thick veins in it. You can eat that. I actually have this book, The Complete Guide to Edible Wild Plants. This is from the Department of the Army. I have skimmed through this, but I did not read much about it. Excuse me. I wish I would put more time into this. But of course, now I've got nothing but time, so that's what we're going to be doing. A lot of reading here with that. Violets, the little purple flowers about that big. Look like a little shoe, kind of. They come up in the grass where you mow, and then they, whatever. In the springtime, you can eat those. I've ate those before. I picked a bunch of them and made kind of like a little salad, add them into a salad. I used to put them into pot roast, just throw them in just because, I don't know if it made any difference or not, but they have a very mild, sweet taste, sort of. There's no bitterness. I don't know, it's kind of fun. It's more mental than anything, it tastes like nothing, I guess. And wild, see, so other edible plants, okay, we got nothing here yet. Let's see, other wild plants or edible plants. Of course, you're starting your garden and whatever, which we have a lot of stuff already started. We started back in February. The wife did, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. Like, not just growing the plants, but let's add more and add more and add more. I don't know. We got a buttload of pepper plants right now, various kinds. Tomatoes are also cabbage. That is, that's definitely a big thing there. A whole bunch of it. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but we're also doing chickens. I know that's getting off the topic of edible plants. We got a dozen little chickens, about the size of pigeons now. They're not quite that big, but they're up there. They're getting big and obnoxious. We're still keeping them in the house. They pretty much got all their feathers, so they'll be going out pretty soon. They're still doing the peep. They're not doing the cluck sound. No, that's sort of the time that you when they're okay to be out in the cold if it freezes. Another book I got, it showed up to me that it's backwards. I don't know if it is to you when you're seeing it. Ultimate Survival Medicine Guide. This is pretty cool. I went through this a little bit. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse, but there's some pretty cool stuff in here. A lot of the stuff that I have is sort of like brush up things. Unless you don't know anything about it, then that's incredibly valuable. Really, really neat things. Man, I just went way off topic, didn't I? I apologize. Talking about medicine. Well, I guess that can be related with edible plants. There are some plants that are considered medicine that I don't know about. Actually, in one of these bushcraft books, he talks about making medicine the old style, the old way, I guess. Mashing up roots and whatever, and making boiling it down and making a paste to rub on a boo-boo or something. Kind of cool, it's a kind of a thing. The other thing was it psychological preparedness? Psychological preparedness. The guy says, "Hey, how do you be strong and confident for those around you that are losing their mind or getting ready to freak out or something?" That's a pretty big point right there too. This is Thursday. It'll be 2 weeks that I've been sort of on stay at home. Little boy, his school closed down this Thursday, it'll be 2 weeks ago. And I've been here with him since then. We haven't went anywhere. I did go to town like once to get basic supplies and some other, whatever. He hasn't went anywhere. The wife's went in town a couple times. And I took my truck to the mechanic, but I still haven't got it back yet. My pickup, still waiting on that. That's kind of frustrating. Could use that thing right now. We don't have a well. We have to haul water. We have a 2,000-gallon cistern in the ground that we have to manually fill up. So being at home for coming up on 2 weeks, week and a half right now, staying positive. Something that I catch myself doing a lot is nothing. I'll just kind of sit in the corner and just wait. And then, you start thinking and doing the overthinking and then the other stuff. And it's difficult to keep your own mind straight, let alone for everybody else. That you gotta show a good example for. My little boy the other night, our governor was talking, and he just come on and he started saying what was going to happen, and my little boy kind of started wanting to play and do stuff, and the wife and I kind of looked at each other. We're like, hey, we gotta hear this, but it's important. And I kind of thought about it right then. Was wow, this sucks for him. This really sucks. Thankfully, we have relatively good internet now, and he can play his video games and stuff and do whatever he wants. That's a cool thing there. But anyway, that made me kind of say, I got to do something. I have to show that it's not that bad. And I have been discussing considering the coronavirus as less than scary. That it's sort of nonsense. It's all going to pass, which I do genuinely believe that it's probably hyped up a lot more than, or a lot more, more serious than what it is. But the economic impact right now is obviously serious. That is obviously something there. Whether it's blown out of proportion or not, it is. But is the disease itself or the virus itself really that severe? Anyway, trying to say it's no big deal, and so on. If you're in a place like that and everybody's panicking, if you can be a little bit calm, people will kind of be calm too. Not everybody. There's people that live for that kind of fear and that kind of nonsense. So, they're just going to, just, you got to live in here. You got to be in here, and you got to be in control of this. It's hard to do sometimes, especially when everybody else is doing the other thing. And it's like a psychological thing too, is people tend to feel guilty or like something bad is going to happen if they're not worrying about it. I think everybody's guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. I'll catch myself worrying about something that I can do nothing about. And then if I just kind of don't think about it, I feel guilty for not worrying about it. Or at least I used to. I don't so much anymore. But so it's really easy to worry about dumb stuff. So where are we at? 15 minutes in almost. Some other magazines that I've been, kind of a strange thing. The wife handed me this one yesterday or the day before it came in the mail. And I thought, man, I thought there was another issue that I didn't get. These come out every 3 months. Well, maybe I lost that one, or maybe I got it and misplaced it. I just went out to her car a little bit ago to get some papers she needed for her work, and this missing issue was in there. Anyway, Backwoods Home Magazine. It's kind of cool. It's a pretty cool, sort of like a homesteader thing. Well, how to build a smokehouse, backyard beekeeping, cloning tomatoes. Yeah, and building fences, pruning blueberries, first aid kits, and homestead helpers and such. Pretty cool time to brush up on some of that stuff or learn a new thing. It might be a thingamajigger. No. Okay, so talk about the radio. Got these two bad boys sitting back here. FT70D, a Yaesu 2-meter 440 FM and digital. Works great. Got this antenna. Don't know if I showed that one before. Works pretty cool. I actually got that. I think I just made a random order one time when I was using antennas for building the repeater, and I ended up with this one, and it was the correct SMA adapter, and I put it on here, and it works great. So it's actually tuned pretty good for 70 centimeter here. You pull him out, and it works great on 2-meter. SWR is real good on that. DMR. Everybody is big into DMR. I'm not. Digital mobile radio. For whatever reason, getting this into my mind is difficult. C4 FM or D-Star, Wires X, I'm pretty proficient at. I can walk around that pretty good and use those quite well. DMR is a pain in the butt for me. For whatever reason, making it happen is it's a pain in the hind end. I have to use my hotspot with it. This is a ZumSpot. It's got a Pi-Star software. It's a Raspberry Pi with a with the radio part on top of it. That's what I use. I can't reach any digital repeater from here other than the C4 FM, which I haven't really messed with a whole lot. I just straight talk, back and forth. But I use DMR, of course, through the hotspot, and whatever the problem is, I'm having a hard time figuring it out. I am figuring it out slowly, but I don't know. It's really frustrating how long it takes to get into it. I do not have a D-Star handheld yet. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. After all this nonsense is over. But I can show you my radio stuff here real quick. Let me move some things. Show you guys what I got going on here. I suppose you can kind of see some things there. A little bit of things. Okay. Oh, I got my regular shirt on. I don't know if you can read it. It says I smell hippies. Thought this would be appropriate today after the stimulus package was crapped out. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to get mad if I start talking about it, so I'm not going to talk about it. Anyway, folks, I've probably kept you long enough here, 18 minutes, and I'm going to try to do this again tomorrow around noon. So I guess I'll see everybody then. Stay safe. Take care of your loved ones. Thanks for watching.